Hey friends, it's Michael Levine. I feel like this is going to be maybe a stream of consciousness kind of thing. Got a little bit of my wine going. It's not the first glass. And I'm gonna talk about some of the stuff that's going on in my world. I have had some crazy shit going on in my world. Something happened about a month ago. I decided, my wife and I decided we were going to close one of our salons, and so we told the staff, we told them we were going to close the salon. And now this salon, most of the staff had been there minimum 5 years. I think it was ranging between 5 and 13 years in this company. I think there was 3 people there that were under 3 years. And then the rest, I think 9 of them were there for quite a while, and 2 of those were over a decade. Anyways, it was a pretty stable company, and I could never get this company to do the numbers that I wanted to do. And I'll just give you a little bit of background. This salon we were doing really, really well at one of our locations, and a space came out available right across the street from us, and it had been a salon before, and they were always our competition. And when it became available, we took it because we didn't want somebody who actually knew what they were doing and who ran a stable business, because the other guy was cool, but he didn't know how to run a business, and I think he may have had some problems. And so we took the space mostly to kind of make sure competition didn't come in. I think within like a year of opening, it was a brand new location. And remember, I never hire staff with a clientele. I never hire people with a book. Everybody in my company is either from out of town or I've trained them. And most of the people I've trained how to hold scissors. So we had built the salon up within a year. I think it was doing like $90,000 a month in service and about $12,000 a month in retail. Not bad. And we were making a ton of money. So that salon was sort of the catalyst for a lot of our future growth, because it gave us a cushion financially, and it allowed me to take a lot of risk, because we had a salon directly across the street that was profitable as well and doing similar numbers. So we were doing really, really well, and we're talking 10 years ago. Well, in the meantime, since all this stuff happened, the rent in that one salon tripled. And what ended up happening, I was, pretty happy with myself, and our growth was really good. So I opened another salon, and then I decided to open a hairdressing school, and then I opened another salon, and then we opened another salon and a hairdressing school, and then I closed a salon, and I was kind of doing all this crazy stuff. And this is before any of you guys had ever heard of me. This is before I had hammered out my somewhat drunken, what do they call the Unabomber, my manifesto, how to survive and thrive as a hairdresser, which ended up becoming quite big. So this is before any of you people outside of Vancouver had ever heard of me. And we were doing really well. And I think we had 5 locations and doing super, super well. And I had left this location alone. I had left it alone almost kind of like for 5 years. And, because it had been doing so well, it was just like way up. I'll keep this on camera. It's like way up here, and slowly dwindling. But I always kind of thought I can get it back on track. But I just got to finish this other project, because I'd opened this other salon, because I am full on ADD. And I don't know if it's clinical, but as soon as something's going, what I've discovered about myself is I like to create things. I like to build things. I like to I'm an idea guy, but I'm not necessarily a follow through right to the end kind of guy. My mind is chaos at all times, and I like it that way. And I kind of like it that way. And I'm going to kind of there's going to be a point here, I promise you. But that's the way I kind of like it. Anyway, so I kind of left that salon alone for a little while and doing other projects. And then when I finally decided, whoa, the numbers in this salon are slipping really bad, and I decided to go back into that salon, I couldn't get it back on track. And I would say I gave it a pretty honest effort. The first thing I tried to do was go in there with a hammer. And that didn't work at all, obviously. And, I've never said I'm the most evolved person in the world. But I went in there and I started kind of like, guys, like, what are you doing? Like, we got to do this. We got to get these numbers. We got to get these retail. If you're not doing retail, that means you're not taking care of the clients. And I've always maintained, when it comes to retail, retail is everything for a salon owner. It's where our profits lie. But also as an owner, retail means you're taking care of your clientele in a deep and meaningful way. And what hairdressers who haven't sort of regularly, I don't want to say been pushed, but who haven't been guided throughout their careers. If you suddenly come at them with the retail stick, they're going to say, well, I didn't get into hairdressing to sell to my clients. And it's a really hard thing to turn around. And this is why ultimately it was impossible for me to get the salon back on track. And the reason was, I don't want to say this in a negative way because these are wonderful people who worked for me for a long time. But you know what? They actually didn't work for me. They worked in my salon. In fact, they worked in a salon that I owned. Was really more about what the relationship was like. They worked in a salon that I owned, and I don't think they really ever truly got that they were working for me. And when they took the job, they had agreed to certain things. But that's my fault. It's 100% my fault. Anyways, the lunatics were running the asylum, and when I went in there, first I went in there hard with a hammer, and that obviously didn't work. That was kind of stupid of me. So then I kind of went in there and I started working there, and I started doing clients there a couple days a week, and so that I could, get to know these guys a little bit better. And I did, and I started reestablishing the relationships. And we started then doing one-on-ones about, a year later, my wife and I started going in and doing one-on-ones. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we realized that we were never going to be able to do it with this team. And it was because we had left these guys alone for too long. And every single one of these people are wonderful, amazing, beautiful people. But if you let, how does this go? It's a beautiful phrase. Here we go. The only way a business runs itself is into the ground. And this was basically a bunch of people behaving like chair renters in a commission-based salon, and not behaving like the ultimate chair renters who are going out and kicking ass, which so many of you people are. They were behaving like bare minimum people, saying, I refuse to do anything above the bare minimum. And I couldn't get the salon back. So we closed it. I went in, my wife and I went in and had a meeting, and we closed it and gave them about a month's notice. And we invited every one of them to come join us at another salon we had 5 minutes away, 1 mile away. And that other salon was huge and big and beautiful. And it was an interesting thing. The point of what I am trying to tell you is 4 people came over with us. Every single one of them was invited. Now, there was a few people in that group that I was fine to not have come over. That was fine. Talking to them was very often pulling teeth, and I knew that they weren't ever really going to take hairdressing seriously as a career, but I left the door open anyways, because here's what I have learned, that, and it's kind of like this in relationships. If you behave a certain way in your relationship, you will always be that way in that relationship. They're very rare human, that can evolve past something when they're in a certain relationship. But when they're in a new relationship, that's when changes can happen. And I thought, if I can get these guys out of this room, I had 2 choices basically. I could gut the room and spend $50,000, $100,000, gut it and create a totally new room and take the risk they still wouldn't change. Or I could put them into another room where the majority of the hairdressers were performing to within my expectations of them. And I thought maybe if they come over there, they would be infected with what they were supposed to be doing in the first place, and it would maybe light a fire under their bums. And so 4 people came over, and 2 of them were my 13-year stylists, and then 2 of them were my next 2 highest senior stylists, I think, who had been with me for like 8 years. And basically we lost one of our most senior people, and it was kind of a drag because I thought we had a really great relationship. But at the same time, that's cool, whatever. Everybody has to live their own life. And I think sometimes we get so egocentric that we forget that everybody is the main character in their own show. Sometimes we always think, well, everybody's a supporting cast in my show, but I'm a supporting character in their show, and probably I'm the bad guy in their show too. I'm the villain. But anyways, so we lost several of the people, and as I said, I was super bummed we lost a couple of them. There was 2 of them, and I was really, really bummed because I thought they would have just fit in and done so wonderfully well over at the other location. But we also gained a couple of people that I was sort of not sure they would come, and I was thrilled. So anyways, here's the point of what I'm trying to say is I truly believe that if your performance isn't where it should be, and if you're not doing the things that you should be doing, you've got 2 choices. You've either got to Like, shake everything off and decide that tomorrow is a new day and you need to be a new person. You have to be a completely new person and develop a new attitude and start embracing the change that your employer or what you know needs to happen, or you need to get out of Dodge and go somewhere else. I mean, they always say the grass is not greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it, but it's really hard to water it when you have gotten really comfortable with a shitty lawn. You know, I'll say this. In my house, we did a huge renovation in my house that I'm in now, and even with the salons, I've opened 9 hair salons over the years. We've done all these huge renovations, and if you don't finish 100% of the renovation, like if you just like leave that one linear foot of baseboard that didn't get finished, that last little bit of stuff that you didn't get finished, the longer you leave it, the less you see it. And the longer it stays, and then you get complacent. And that's really what it's about. The longer you're in a place of complacency, you've got to leave that place. And you physically, in my belief, you have to leave that place. I'm kind of talking deep, and I might be talking out of my ass. But I believe that the people who have left me, I believe every one of those people is going to do... They're going to start to do the things that I've been asking them to do. I know they will. Every one of those people who left my company is going to do the stuff that I had been begging them and pleading with them to do for the last 5 years. They're all going to start hitting phenomenal numbers. They're all going to start hitting social media really, really well. And they're going to all start dressing better, and they're going to all start doing better. And I know they will, because they had all this information, but I had kind of not pushed them. And it's there. They have the knowledge. They have the awareness of how to do it. And now that they're out in new situations, that's going to light a fire under their bums. And I hope it's also going to light a fire under the bums of the people that have joined us in our other location, the 4 people that did come with us. And I think it will. I think they're going to get infected by the room that they're joining into. And I think even the people within my company are going to get infected by them. And it was the coolest thing, because guys who I thought were really outstanding hairdressers said to me, I'm really excited these guys are coming over because so-and-so's an amazing colorist. And I'm really excited to work beside her and learn from her. And I was like, how cool is that? I had no idea that was going to be a byproduct of this. All 4 of the people coming over are incredible hairdressers, but I got a bunch of other incredible hairdressers working together. So it was really cool, in all sincerity, to hear these incredible hairdressers in the salon saying, I'm so excited for these guys to come over and join our team because I want to work beside them. I want to see the work they do. I want to learn from them. And I want to see more quality, amazing work leaving this salon. How cool is that? Now, the people that went to the people that didn't come with me, 4 of them, I think, went to one salon. So the owner of that salon, you should probably cut me in for some profit sharing this year, and maybe add a tagline, a Michael Levine salon, under your salon name. Cheeky. I don't know if American Salon is going to run this video, but I'm putting it out there anyways because I don't care. Anyways, the point of it is, if you are not doing what you're doing, what you need to be doing, and you know you need to be doing, you need to either wake up, shake your head, get your shit together, go shopping, get a totally new wardrobe, cut your hair off, dump your boyfriend, get a total makeover, completely change everything, and then you might be able to change stuff in the salon. And then beg your salon owner for a coat of paint. Beg your salon, you know what? Can we please finish this reno? Can we please do this? Get something. And you as salon owners, if you want to do something, regular coat of paint in your salon at bare minimum. Polish the floors, whatever it is. Do something that creates change in the environment, physical change. Maybe make everybody change stations, just something different that is going to be a catalyst for change of behavior. This is like the longest video ever. That's all it is. And if you're not willing to make that change, maybe you got to go elsewhere, and maybe that'll light the fire. And if that doesn't light the fire, if you're always going somewhere else looking for something, the problem is within you, and you should probably just get out of the industry. Just leave the industry, get out of the way, and leave it for those of us who are really, really passionate about hairdressing and want more for us. Make room for us. That's kind of it. I think that's like several videos all in one. And you have a nice day. This has been Michael Levine shitting on your dreams.
Cut your hair. Do you think it's gonna make him change? I'm just a boy with a new haircut, and that's a pretty nice haircut. Charge a lot.